Good Monday to you, meteorologist Joey Sovine here at the Live 5 Alert Center with an update on a very special treat that we get to see in the sky today, and that's the partial solar eclipse. Not as good as the one back in 2017, of course, where we were in the path of totality and got the really cool sight out there with things going dark. It was a bit spoiled for some of you by some thunderstorms that we had, unfortunately timed out, that popped up right as we were getting the total solar eclipse. But let's talk about what you'll be able to see today if you are going to be trying to catch a glimpse of it. Eclipse begins at 1:53. The timing of that we'll detail a little bit more in just a second. But first and foremost, if you don't have safe eye protection, those solar glasses that you may have seen at the store that you may have purchased, or hopefully you may be extra careful with where you purchase these. Make sure it's a reputable place where there's always some knockoffs that are sold, and they're not necessarily safe for your eyes viewing the sun. It's never safe to look at the sun, whether it's a day where there's a solar eclipse or not, but the ray's a little bit stronger actually during a solar eclipse, so you just got to be extra cautious out there. It is not the kind of deal, if you're going about your business today, you wouldn't even know it happened unless we were to tell you this was going on, unless you put on these glasses and are able to see it yourself. Now, the weather looks great today. Unfortunately, we had the path of totality over top of us back in 2017. The weather was better for some folks near the coast than back inland. So let's talk about what we're dealing with today. What makes today so special? Well, it's the positioning of the moon with it right in between the sun and Earth. So that it casts a shadow on the Earth in a very small, really spatial area. We're looking at a band of about 100 to 115 miles wide that starts out over the Pacific Ocean, stretches across parts of Mexico, through Texas, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, up through Arkansas, and then that stretches up through Cleveland, Ohio, and then up into northern Maine, and then up towards Nova Scotia. So along that path, of course, there are going to be some spots where the weather's a little bit better than others. For us, though, not being in that path of totality means we're not going to see things get dark outside this afternoon. We're not even going to see really a noticeable difference in how bright it is, as you need to be in all the way at 100% for that to occur, because the sun's so bright. Even if you dim some of it out, or if you block some of it out, it still stays just as bright as it normally does out there. So here's what we're looking at. You can see the darkest shaded area there just to our north and west, from the upstate back to the west. That's in the zone where it goes from 80 all the way up to 100% right there in that path of the total eclipse. So that puts us in an area where we're going to peak at 70% of the sun being blocked out by the moon. So that begins at 1:53, and then as we go towards 3:10, that's when we'll see the majority of, or the peak of the eclipse here locally. So at that point, the maximum eclipse is at 70%. So you'll just be able to see 30% of the sun still remaining out there. Now, it's the kind of deal where, can you tell the difference between 65 and 70? No. So you don't have to get outside necessarily right at 3:10, but anywhere in that general 3 o'clock time frame is when the majority, or the peak of this occurrence will happen here locally. Now, everything wraps up. The partial eclipse ends right there, and the sun is back in full force at 4:25. So, of course, the big question anytime you're dealing with a solar eclipse, or for that matter, a lunar eclipse, trying to capture anything out there related to this, you need good weather, and we've got good weather for today. It looks like the sky should be mostly clear. Could be just a couple of high clouds this afternoon, but overall things look good. In fact, Future Tracker here shows as we go into this afternoon, let me see if I can back this up for you and give you a general idea. There's 3 o'clock, so that's about the time where that eclipse is going to be occurring here in the United States, and we'll take a look at Future Tracker to see who may have the best viewing experience. Now, this total path will start once again and run in this general corridor right here, which you can see just off to on the eastern side of that path. It looks like it's going to be cloudiest, and the potential is there for some showers and storms. So some spots are going to be a little bit better than others for viewing it. But at the end of the day, once again, that begins at 1:53. Make sure you have those glasses if you are going to try to check it out this afternoon. And the weather looks very good. We'll keep you updated on that. And don't forget, you can download the Live 5 First Alert weather app. And we have a video there if you want to check it out to look at the forecast or look at these details once again. You can do that throughout the day on Live 5 First Alert weather app. It's free in the App Store. You can download it there. But hopefully you get a chance to catch something really cool in the sky once again. Not a repeat of 2017 for us this go round, but still pretty neat and something that's very rare. Hope you have a wonderful day.